cars, you're going to have the choice. Well, that's good. So at least you can save that quality if you would like. So here we are, 28 laps at Abu Dhabi, the Precision Racing League, Formula One 2016, Season 8. This is round 14 of the championship. El Majaco, last season's champion, sorry. Right ahead of Forza Alonso, the all-time wins leader. Points leader Dubsy starting 7th. Mebby is up there in 5th. Those are your players in the championship right here. They are lining up, getting ready to start this race. All they can do is get better. Well, that's true. There ain't no going down, that's for sure. We were talking about the NASCAR game, Ohio. Let's see if I can get up front. And we're green at Abu Dhabi. There's my car going off track. Hopefully it didn't hit anybody. El Majaco's going to get the lead down into turn 1. Forza Alonso tucks in behind Nick Dahi and maybe side by side. Somebody went straight off in the first corner. I seen it, but I did not see who it was. Side by side for 3rd, it was Evoking Vapors who went off the track and is now out of this race. KWP looked to be wrapped up in that as well. There's a serious latency problems. Now we've got the safety car. What Williams is that? Mitch Man in 7th. He started like 13th. 12th and 13th for Mitch Man. But look at the issues he's having with his connection. Yeah, we've got serious connection problems here. Mitch Man in 8th. Dubsy in 6th. So he was able to get one spot there. The race we were watching was Nick Dahi and Mebby side by side there. All the new road courses, yeah, but there's going to be no difference in physics at all. Is Mitch the Matrix? He might be. Wonder what. So what is that? Is that red pill? I can't remember. It's red pill or blue pill, right? My Matrix knowledge is I was hoping to see a little more of that racing action between Dahi and Mebby, but like we said, somebody went straight off. Oh yeah, get that 4K and the PS4 Pro. It'll look sweet. Actually, we'll talk about something that's going to look sweet. Talking about Gran Turismo Sport on PS4 Pro with 4K. Are you kidding me? So Ditchwich back to 9th. Not a great start for him. Zeusman in 10th. Bad start for him as well. I wonder if them boys had some issues. Aaron Webb went backwards. Wow. We were watching the lead of the race and a lot of issues there. Ditchwich into the pits. A lot of cars into the pits. Look at that. Jada. Is that Mebby in the pits? Forza Alonso in the pits. So this is a strategy game here. From 2nd and 3rd. Forza Alonso and Mebby. Out of this, into the pits, onto the Super Softs. Ultra's off that car for Forza Alonso. Tracy's, thank you for the follow, appreciate that. They didn't add the Charlotte Road Course. Yeah, technically it's not on the schedule until 2018. Yeah, it'd be nice to have it, but you know, this 1 year turnaround is the exact same game. They took NASCAR Heat Evolution and they updated it, and they're going to release it this year. So the best thing you can hope for is feature fixes, bug fixes, because the physics, the graphics, everything is identical. So Mebby and Forza Alonso are going to be 13th and 14th here. El Majaco still on those Ultra Softs, did not decide to hit pit lane. Enjoyed Charlotte Road when you did iRacing. I've not done any of that yet. I know that's like a popular Mazda, the Mazda series track, but I've not done any road stuff yet on iRacing. Been trying to get used to the oval stuff. Nearly A-class now, so hoping to get that done. So Nick Dahi moves up into 2nd, HSVDT in 3rd, Dubsy 4th. course, Aaron Webb staying out because he's on Super Softs. So he moves back up into 7th. Looks like Zuzma is on Super Softs as well. We're going to have to keep an eye on these boys here. 13th on back. It's nice that they're on the tire compound that they want to be. However, could be some serious issues getting through this field. It's going to be complicated for them to get through all of the slower traffic without causing yourselves issues with front wings and other things. So, looks like we're going to do at least one more pace lap here. I'm not sure Ohio State at 9. I've not heard of anything. Jerome would be the guy to ask, but I've not heard anything like that from him, so I'm guessing not. Which, I mean, it has a vast array of features. It's pretty damn close. It's just the bugs. The bugs really hurt rig racing in this game. You know, you've got tire compound bugs. You've got latency issues. You've got problems with the broadcast. You know, like if you saw my car, even though I wasn't a part of the race, my car was on the grid and then went straight off. You know, and my car's crashed people before, so hopefully we didn't have any of those issues today. But whoa, yeah, see the latency issues there for Mitch, man. He was off track there for a moment. He's going to want to stay in because he's 3rd place in this race, but that's going to cause some issues for people if that doesn't get straightened out. Is this a cinematic gameplay mode? Just a spectate, yeah, basically. You know, I can control cameras. There's not a whole lot of differences here. You can control all your onboards, you can watch from a few various angles with the broadcast camera. But that's basically it, and then I can cycle through the competitors here. It's not bad. It's better than it is on Project Cars. Project Cars, you have to go through one by one. This, I can actually pick the guy I want. We want to look at drunk golf, and all I got to do is hit square and go straight to it. So there's definite advantages there. Ready to get this race restarted. There's Williams off track again. But now he's back. Mitch, man, is everywhere, man. Yeah, I got Hoodius. So even when the announcer curse doesn't work, I'll just reckon with my car. It's always possible. We're gonna get to go here. We're gonna do one more pace lap. Safety cars. Yeah, these the companies are starting to take that into mind. You know, with Project Cars 2, they are actually putting 2 specific spots in their lobbies for broadcasters. So, you know, with Project Cars 2 or Project Cars 1, if I wanted to broadcast the race, I had to take up a spot in the race. So 16-car lobbies, that mean only 15 guys can race because I will be in the lobby broadcasting. Now, there could be 16-car lobbies and 2 broadcasters on top of it. So, A1 Matthews, not a fan of Project Cars. I like Project Cars. I think some of the physics could use some work, which they seemingly have. You know, they're adding in aspects of a rating system to keep online matchmaking a little closer and more competitive. You've got the live track system, which looks really cool, progressive day to night transitions and weather transitions. So I feel like it's going to be a really solid game. Yeah, not many glitches. The glitches in Project Cars that stick out to me is the invisible wall glitch, which you will see from time to time where people just run into an invisible wall and it does immense damage to your car. There is quite a bit of problems with the telemetry because it will bug out throughout the race. Like we do a 2-hour broadcast The sound bugs out, the telemetry bugs out, the track map bugs out. So I mean, you know, those are issues. But you know, if you're racing, that's not a thing. So I mean, there's always complications, but hopefully they will address some of those things. Company cars too. So the field is back in control of El Majaco. Safety car nearly complete. He's slowing everybody down. Going to drive off at his pace. Man. I hope he doesn't have to be asked to leave, but I know that's causing issues for Dubsy there in fourth. El Majaco on the throttle. Nick Dahi, not a great start for him. Majaco's able to get a pretty good gap there. You see him banging it out. Dahi in second. Going back a little farther in the field. Mr. BM, thank you for the follow, my friend. Here is HSVDT. So maybe, unless Mitchman got jumped there, maybe it's HSVDT who's having the latency issues there. He is in the slipstream of Nick Dahi on those Ultrasofts. A lot of lockup there. Lockup for 2 corners. Now he's off track. There's your latency, I'm thinking, maybe. Or maybe he just went off track. Looked like a pretty solid hit. Yeah, he's got the internet issues. He's still in third. Look at him. We have no idea what's happening.
Unexpected pleasure.
No idea what's happening with that third car. He's going to look to the inside of Nick Dahi. Dubsy on the outside has no idea really where he is. Clark Williams, thanks for the follow. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. This is a complicated thing here. With the internet issues that he's seeing, he might be asked to leave pretty soon. Or hell, maybe it's just the broadcast that sees it. I hope Dubsy sees exactly where he's at, because we don't know. So let's look a little farther back in the field. Here's Mitch Mann running 6th. Aaron Webb still in 7th after that restart. Forza Alonso has moved his way up to 9th from 13th. He's working on Clogmonger here. Let's stick with him, see what happens. Big time traffic. Side note, think better of it just for a moment. Mac likes the go-karts in project cars. A1 Matthews said it was nothing but glitches when you play. Yeah. I know they've made a lot of improvements on it. Waiting for the crew too. I'm looking forward to project cars too. I'm looking forward to Gran Turismo. We'll definitely be doing that. I've got to figure out if we're going to be doing F1 and NASCAR Heat, the NASCAR Heat too. I'm still making decisions. We've got iRacing. You know, we've got those other 2 games coming up. It's a complicated thing. Maybe not been as efficient getting through the field as Forza Alonso. He is running 11th right now. So the Haas car is making a gap on him. I don't see any damage to that car. So he's trying to work his way up, but has not had as great a luck as his championship competitor Forza Alonso. Yoda Bear, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that.
Unexpected pleasure.
We got a follow train going here. Let's keep it going. Demonify, thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. I know Demonify used to follow. Apparently, he's going to follow again, so that's nice. Morrissey, thank you for the follow. Here's Forza Alonso around his teammate. I think Aaron Webb is going to let him go by. He knows he's a little quicker. Those tires are a little fresher as well. We saw one Williams car being forced off track there. See if we can look ahead here. That is Mitch Mann. Dubsy still trying to work his way around HSVDT. Forza Alonso, fastest lap of the race right here. Dubsy would really like to get around this Williams.
Unexpected pleasure.
Supalo Class Racer, thank you for the follow. Keep that follow train going. Appreciate all the new people coming in and checking us out. Just recently started streaming from a PC, upgraded our look, having a lot of fun with it, doing some iRacing, so you know, a lot of new things here and a lot of new things coming. well. So Dubsy making that pass, DRS zone enabled, finding his way around HSVDT, which is going to be great for him because then he doesn't have to worry about the lag that we've been seeing from HSVDT. Now setting his sights squarely on the Red Bull of Nick Dahi. Nick Dahi has DRS enabled. These guys are going to be hitting pit lane with those Ultra Softs pretty soon, I would imagine. Let's go back through what we talked about before the race. Your tire report. This is a 28-lap race. Ultra Softs are really only good for about 5 to 6 laps. Now, we've had plenty of safety cars in there. Safety car laps have kept us good, but they are running on the same tires that they qualified on as well, so they've got a lap on those tires even from the get-go. Super Softs last about 9 to 10 laps and 11 to 13 laps for the Softs. Super Softs and Softs are mandatory. We're looking at 2-stop races throughout here, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that. But it's very, very difficult to make the 2 stops happen when you start out on Ultra without the safety car, but we have seen the safety car. So maybe these guys are going to stretch it as long as they can to make sure that they can make it on 2 stops. Now, we also talked about the points battle going into this race. We talked about it earlier. Last week was a tough points day for the top 3 in points. Dubsy, Mebi, and El Majacco, your top 3 in points. Mebi is 20 points back of Dubsy, and 27 points back is El Majacco. That gap closing behind them, 33 points back for Nick Dahi in 4th. You can see him trying to work his way around El Majacco now. And that's going to open the door for Dubsy. He's got a 3-way race for the lead here. This is another DRS zone. Nick Dahi going to look to the outside of the Mercedes. Is he going to be able to make this move stick? Under braking! Over, under, possible? No. That is going to be El Majacco holding off the Red Bull. Very, very tight between these 3 cars. Throw a blanket over top of them. Big wheel spin there for Dahi. Not opening up the door for the points leader, however. So we talked about Dahi, 33 points back. In 5th is Forza Alonso, 46 points back. Got a virtual safety car here. So something happened on track. Not an official safety car. I imagine these guys are going to hit pit lane right now. This is a perfect time to hit pit lane. Virtual safety car, yes. Top 2 to the pits. Dubsy, what is he thinking? He's going to stay out, I believe. So let's see what kind of tire compound these guys go on. Perfect time for them to hit pit lane. Take this down for a second. So, that was Super Softs going on those 2 top cars. A lot of pit stops happening behind them as well. Let's see where they come out. The virtual safety car is basically just for these guys to go down to a safe speed and hold the gap that they have to the other cars on the track. Looks like we are green again. So, Nick Dahi in 8th. That means that El Majacco came out in 7th. Let's go up front and get a rundown here. Dubsy, P1 right now with a significant lead over Zeusman, who is in 2nd. Both of those cars on super soft tires. Forza Alonso now back to 3rd, 4 seconds back from the race leader on super softs. Aaron Webb in 5th. J-Dub in, well, I guess that's now 5th. Drunk Dolphin in 6th. He is on the soft tires. He's got a fresh set of super softs on the El Majacco car behind him, so this will be a battle to watch here as El Majacco tries to come back up through the field and hold off the Red Bull of Nick Dahi at the same time. It shows El Majacco 11 seconds back from race leader Dubsy. That's pretty good. Within the pit delta there, so when Dubsy has to pit, we should end up around him. So a little slip there from Dolphin. That's going to allow El Majacco to go around the outside. Nick Dahi also looking. Toro Rosso shutting the door there. But Dahi still able to make his way around. So move El Majacco to 6th and Dahi into 7th. Try to go a little farther forward. Aaron Webb started on those tires. Now we've had the safety cars, but we expect him to make a pit here within the next couple of laps. Zusman the same way, Dubsy the same way. Those guys started the race on those tires. Let's watch this battle here. Forza Alonso trying to find his way around the Ferrari of Zusman. He is catching the race leader. Forza Alonso right now, one of the fastest cars on track. He's got DRS. It's going to be a simple pass here down into this corner. Zusman not really going to challenge at all. So move Forza Alonso back to second. Pitted early to get off those ultra softs when that safety car hit. And now Forza Alonso trying to reel in the race leader to take back control of this race before he makes the second pit stop. 2.6 seconds back. You can see the gap closing. I think Dubsy is going to have to hit pit lane soon because those tires clearly are losing their luster. Behind them, J-Dub and Aaron Webb closing together. We're going to see a race for fourth here very soon. You see Elma Jacko back there in sixth, catching up to the rear of that Haas. We have to see what he's got here very soon. We know Aaron Webb might come into the pits. We've got to keep an eye on the guys out front as well. Dubsy still on track. Zusman on track as well. So no pit stop from those guys just yet. Forza Alonso has closed the gap to 1.8 seconds. Elma Jacko now with the quickest lap of the race. 8 seconds back from the race leader. You can see him right on Aaron Webb. He's hoping to catch him here in this next upcoming DRS zone. Have a big toe and DRS enabled. Aaron Webb sitting duck right now. His tire is much older than Elma Jacko's. Long straightaway here. Doesn't even need the DRS. He's going to get off that corner quite well, use the slipstream to get beside. Although that Haas is holding firm, DRS open, he's going to be able to make that pass happen, but Aaron Webb not making it easy for him. So Elma Jacko to fifth now, closing in on the Renault of Jada. So let's get back out front, see what's going to happen here. Dubsy's going to be coming around, getting close to the pits. I really feel like he's going to have to pit very soon. Only lost a tenth there to Forza Alonso, so the gap is stabilized between first and second, which is kind of strange. Watching the race leader here. Let's see what he decides to do. Dubsy. He's going to stay out another lap. He's happy with those older tires, going to try to make them work. How long did we say the softs will last? We said the softs will last 11 to 13 laps. Dubsy started on these tires. I feel like he's trying to stretch them to make one stop possible, but I don't think it is possible. With 11 to 13 laps on the softs, he's going to have to get to 15 to 16. If not, I don't know. We're going to keep an eye on the champ here, or the points leader, excuse me. We're going to see exactly what he's able to do, but making this race a one-stopper, I don't know. I just don't know. But I mean, if he doesn't hit pit lane and get off those tires that are now slow. Although, like we said, the gap is somewhat stabilized. 1.2 seconds is the gap right now. Have to see 1.3, so he's holding them off. Forza Alonso's tires are not exactly fresh now. He got on them on lap 2, but we had a safety car until, what, lap 4 or 5? Jacko now in third. He's got his way around Jada. McDahi to fifth. Aaron Webb. Those are passes on track. He still has not hit pit lane either. Aaron had a good run last week, stretching those tires as long as he could. HSVDT is in seventh there. Golf and Zuzu and Ditch Witch rounding out your top 10. Mebby has made another pit stop. He is on the soft tires. Back in 12th. Not a great race right now for Mebby. He's going to be pushing hard to try and get back up front. But clearly that early pit stop did not work for him the same way that it worked for Forza Alonso. Both of those cars came into pit from 2nd and 3rd. They came out 13th and 14th. Forza Alonso is leading this race and Mebby is in 12th. You can see the difference. How those strategies did not work according to plan there. Dubsy, P1, but Forza Alonso right there in the slipstream. He's got DRS. Dubsy's going to hold him off here. But the race for the lead is heating up. I think there's one more DRS zone to go here. There you go. Can the Haas make a move right here? Dubsy's doing a great job holding him off so far. He's going to hold him off once again. A little bit of lockup. Forza Alonso's not really going to like this because that's going to mean that the gap between himself and El Majaco is closing. You can see 5 seconds back, nearly 6 seconds back, is Majaco on fresh tires. Alonso's right on the rear wing of the race leader. I don't know what kind of camera views we got here, but that's what we got. Who's going to hit pit lane? Dubsy to pit lane. The race leader into the pits. Forza Alonso takes over. J-Dub retired from the session. That's unfortunate. Not sure what happened to him, but he had a good run going. So Dubsy into the pits. He's going to put the softs on. Lap 14. I just don't feel like he can go all the way. I know he wants to make this a one-stopper, but I don't think it's possible. He's going to need safety car help, and I'm not sure he's going to get it. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that clogmonger as well out of this race. Aaron Webb in 5th. He's still not stopped. He is definitely trying for a one-stopper. I don't know. I don't know, boys. Here's Dubsy coming out in front of Zusman. Dubsy on soft. Zusman on softs as well. 18 seconds back from the race leader is Dubsy. So El Majaco in 2nd. Forza Alonso leading this race. Majaco is 3.3 seconds back. Nick Dahi 3rd is 6 seconds back from the race leader. HSVDT 4th, having a great showing. And Aaron Webb 5th. We got to keep an eye on him to see when he decides to hit pit lane. Holy moly, look at behind him! 3 wide for position. Zusman trying to make a move on Dubsy, and Dubsy made the move on the Toro Rosso. Oh, they're side by side, Dubsy. Oh, they both had to cut that corner. I wonder if we're going to see time penalties from that. Dubsy and Zusman side by side down into that corner. It pushed both of them wide. Really, really hot battle, and they're coming up on a much slower Aaron Webb. His tires are quite a bit older, 14 laps older to be exact. So Dubsy's trying to make the move on Aaron Webb. Aaron hold them off for now. Aaron is going to hit pit lane. That's going to open the door, so Dubsy is going to take over 5th place in this race. Donnie Darko, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. So Dubsy, 5th place. Zusman in 6th. I would like to see where Aaron Webb comes out. He's 11th on pit lane right now, going on to the softs. He's closer than Dubsy is to making it. Mebby retired! Oh no! What happened to Mebby? He's gone. I have no idea if I can't see anything. Wow, Nick Dahi is running down the race leaders who have changed. El Majaco now taking over the race lead from Forza Alonso. Of course, Majaco had much newer tires than Forza Alonso. That's to be expected. Alonso's trying to get to his next pit stop where he will probably put softs on and go to the end of the race. Majaco still has another stop as well. But right now, Majaco's got to put some distance on Forza Alonso to give himself a gap. What's up, Leaf? We're having a pretty interesting race here. It is a strategy race, tire strategy coming into play quite frequently. We don't know what happened to Mebby. He is out of this race. I want to check the race director to see if there was any penalties for Dubsy. A warning. So just a warning for Dubsy and HSVDT, but then that triggered a 3-second penalty for HSVDT because he has multiple warnings. Terminal damage for Clogmonger and J-Dub, and then as well for Mebby. So Mebby has left the session. Terminal damage on that car. Not sure what happened. I'm sure he'll hop into the chat here in a second and we'll see exactly what was going on there. So, you can see Nick Dahi is now in second. That is because the Haas of Forza Alonso has hit pit lane. Yes, he is on softs, and I'm guessing he believes he's good to go to the finish. That's tight, though. He's got to be careful on those tires to make it that far. You're not going to be able to lock him up or really push him all that hard because that's a lot of laps on those softs. What's up, Clutchin'? We're having fun, man. A really strategic race going here. Playing out interestingly. Mebby out of this race, so it could have tremendous impact on the driver's standings. Dubsy not having a fantastic race, but he's out there pushing along. I think Dubsy is trying to make this race a one-stopper. He's going to want to finish the race on those softs. We're not sure that's going to be possible. So it could be a complicated thing for Dubsy. We've seen Dubsy cut some tires before this year, so could be some big championship shakeup here if it stands the way it is. El Majacco, of course, is third in the championship, not very far back. How many points back did we say he was? 27 points back, so he's not going to be able to take the points lead today, but he can definitely take a big chunk out of his teammates' point lead if he wins this race. And Dubsy, where's Dubsy? And if Dubsy has to make that extra pit stop that we think is possible. So right now, HSVDT ahead of Dubsy. He has got a 3-second penalty on that car for multiple warnings. He's 10 seconds back from the leader. Dubsy in third. Zeusman in fourth. Forza Alonso in fifth. He is good to go to the finish. Nick Dahi now good to go to the finish. He's on softs. So we're going to see if Nick Dahi can catch that Haas. Because he's got to have one extra lap that he can use those tires a little harder. Mitchman in seventh. Ditchwich in eighth. Both of those guys having good races. Aaron Webb in ninth. He is trying to go for that one-stop strategy as well. It's just, I don't know. J-Rod rounding out your top 10. Brian Mosser in 11th. Drunk Dolphin in 12th. He has no front wing, so problems for Drunk Dolphin. 13th for Sassafras. K-Dog running 14th, one of the toughest races he's had so far. And that is all the cars on the track at the moment. We've had a serious... the DNFs have been rolling in here in this race. HSVDT staying out this time. Dubsy, like we said, trying to make that one-stop strategy work. So I'm going to set the controller down for a minute. Let's watch this battle here. We've got a pretty good battle here. Forza Alonso setting the quickest lap of the race. Coming up on points leader Dubsy, who is right in front of him. Dubsy with a 3 to 4 laps more on those tires than Forza Alonso has. Leaf's looking at some K&N cars to potentially paint. You like them K&N cars, huh? They're pretty fun to drive. So we're going to be watching Alonso trying to close the gap to Dubsy. You saw behind him is Zeusman and Nick Dahi right there as well. I'd love to see that battle close up and see what we got here. So how's your guys' Thursday night going? I was sick earlier today. I actually feel a lot better now. Called into work. Was on the couch for most of the day. Actually, probably in bed for most of the day, and then on the couch for the rest of it. But I was able to get feeling good enough to get on the stream, and I'm glad I did, because we've seen a pretty interesting race so far. We're not done. It looks like Dubsy, however, has caught up to HSVDT. So we're going to have a race for second very, very soon. 13.4 seconds back from the race leader. Majako's doing everything he needs to do. He's putting that gap on him because he's got another pit stop to make. Love the short tracks, and that's the main thing they run. Yeah. Ooh, Majako's in. Final stop in the bag for Majako. He's going to look at doing 10 laps. 10 laps on those super softs. We got super softs as a 9 to 10 lap tire, so he's right there. But he's in 5th, is the thing. So let's give a rundown here. I went the wrong way. Dubsy, your race leader, was able to get around HSVDT, who is now under fire from Forza Alonso. We're going to have a race for the lead real soon. Under braking all of those cars, locking them up. To second goes Forza Alonso. Really, really close there to Dubsy. Let's look back. Behind them, there's a battle between Zeusman and El Majako. Majako in 5th. Here comes Majako on Zeusman. Majako to the outside. He's on a softer compound tire than the Ferrari. Contact! No! Oh no! There it goes! We talked about Majako having a perfect race, doing everything that he needed to do, but he went to the outside of the Ferrari. They made contact, and now issues. Oh, wow, he's got to be sick right now. He's done perfectly. A perfect race so far, with everything right in hand to what he wanted. And now, this has caused serious issues. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, he really only lost about 3 seconds. However, the Red Bull of Nick Dahi was able to get around him, and Dahi's good to go to the finish. Now, Dahi's on softs, and he is on super softs, but there you go. I mean, it's still there. So, right now, Forza Alonso in 2nd. I was trying to see who hit pit lane. Zeusman 3rd, Dahi 4th. It was HSVDT that hit pit lane. He is now 7th, I think it is. But we're watching the race for the lead right now. Forza Alonso putting pressure on the Mercedes of Dubsy. Dubsy is trying on a one-stop strategy. He's not going to be able to race very hard with Forza Alonso. He's got to save them tires. He's going to try, though. Big power move there by Forza Alonso to take the lead away. But he slips up a little bit. Opens the door for the Mercedes. The Mercedes with the DRS on the outside is going to have the advantage. Makes that pass stick. Dubsy back to the lead. Forza Alonso didn't want to see that. You can see a little bit of slippage there. We talked about this. Dubsy's got to make those tires last, and he is really leaning on them right now. This could cause him problems. He's got to think about the points right now. He's got to think about getting a good finish and earning those points. Because if he's too hard on those tires trying to win the race, all of a sudden he's got to make an extra pit stop, and he drops back to 8th. Now, good thing is, El Majako, the guy who can do the worst damage to him in the point standings, has had an issue there with that contact between himself and Zeusman. But a point is a point. So here comes Forza Alonso. He's in the slipstream. Don't think he's going to look to make a move down into turn B. Patience being shown. He's going to obviously get around there. He's in DRS range, so he's going to try and use that long straightaway, get that toe, and use that DRS to make a move here. Dubsy making him work for it, holding firm. Forza Alonso's tires are about 3 to 4 laps newer than Dubsy. Right now, Dubsy's got a really good run off that corner. He's gapped Forza Alonso a bit. But now with the DRS enabled, it's a huge difference. He's coming into range. Dubsy protecting the inside. We're watching Forza Alonso, who edges ahead. They're side by side. We can't see anything. This is terrible camera work. But Forza Alonso is going to take the lead of this race. Now, what can Dubsy do? Dubsy with DRS now. He's going to try to fire back. Not as long as a straightaway here. He's going to go to the outside. Not going to be able to make that work. Forza Alonso holding on to the lead of this race. And now he's going to try to gap the Mercedes of Dubsy. Man, Dubsy really using those tires hard. Let's keep that in mind. That could have a significant impact on the end of this race and the point standings. So let's go back in the field here. I think Forza Alonso's lead is fairly comfortable. We're going to go back to El Majaco. It is Forza Alonso, Dubsy, Nick Dahi in third, who is 6 points back from the race leader. Majaco, then it's Zusman in fifth. And Aaron Webb back in seventh is racing with HSVDT. 20 seconds back from the race leader, those guys are. So we've got a hell of a battle here. Looks like Brian Mosser is the last car in the points right now. Mitch Mann in ninth. Ditch Witch eighth. Those boys are having a pretty good race here. Stick with them for just a moment. Mitch Mann trying to work his way around Ditch Witch in the Sauber. Ditch Witch had a really good starting position in this race. He's diving down the inside, pushing Ditch Witch wide. Not sure if there was contact there, but Mitch Mann is going to take that position. Ditch Witch is going to try to fire back here. He doesn't want to let him get away. Obviously, he's got a DRS zone coming up. Mitch Mann made an aggressive maneuver there that pushed Ditch Witch wide. And now he's trying to make a gap so that Ditch Witch can't fire back here in a few corners. We are going to see what happens. Ditch Witch is still in DRS range. You can see the line up there. He's going to have it. He's already got the slipstream. Here comes the Sauber, but is there enough distance there? Yes, there is. Look at that. Look at the difference that DRS makes. Ditch Witch going to take this position back, but Mitch Mann holding on strong is going to have the inside line. And Ditch Witch, once again, is looking at the rear of that Williams. He's got DRS. He's on the inside. The pass has been made. So comfortably back into 8th is Ditch Witch, and Mitch Mann now with the slipstream is going to have to try to find his way back around. So let's go back to the front. Good battle there. Aaron Webb in 7th. HSVDT in 6th. Zusman in 5th. El Majaco in 4th. 9 seconds back, trying to catch up to the rear of the Red Bull there. Dubsy, only a second and a half back from the race leader, who is Forza Alonso right now, doing everything that he needs to do. Alonso should be good to go to the finish. Was it? So we've got 6 laps left in this race. And Dubsy's using the slipstream there because I don't think he was in DRS range. That gap is stabilized. Made a scheme that looks cool in the preview. We're going to see how it looks on track. Yeah, that's the test. Dubsy is somehow catching. Ooh, was that latency or was that an actual slide? Dubsy was catching the race leader, but that, if that was a real slide, is going to hurt him tremendously. You're going to have to see in the next time zone here what happens once they trip that sector. Finishing it because they're already second and 3. Even if he lost time, he's still right there. Which he did. He's a second and a half back. But where we thought Alonso was going to just gap Dubsy, that's not happened. Of course, that could be Alonso trying to save his tires, and Dubsy maybe not necessarily saving those tires at the moment. We have to keep an eye on this. But Nick Dahi, 7 seconds back, has no compunction about saving tires. El Majaco is pushing. He's 9 seconds back. So that gap between himself and the Red Bull is growing. Not good. Everything was going well for El Majaco, and then contact between he and Zusman really, really changed the complexion of this race. Can the drivers hear my broadcast? No, they cannot. Nope. Some of them will stay in the lobby or in the stream and listen. You can see K-Dog is in this race. He's in here. Crash 99 is Ditch Witch. He's in here. That looks to be everybody who's racing right now, but we do have some guys that like to keep the broadcast on. So Dubsy catching the race leader somehow, because we're still not sure that Dubsy's tires are going to last all the way. Before he catches him, I want to go back here and check in on Mitch Man and Ditch Witch. It looks like Mitch Man has been able to get around Ditch Witch and has put a couple seconds gap on him, so that battle has changed. Zeusman in 7th. Looks like Aaron Webb made his way around. These guys are not catching the leaders. Dubsy is the only one with a chance right now, but his race could change a lot if those tires go bad. Loaded into the session, never put the scheme on. Well, that's not going to help. So we're winding down here. "28 laps the distance. 25 now complete. Round 14 of the Precision Racing League Season 8. Dubsy, your points leader, trying to make those tires stretch to the end of this race. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make it happen, but he is going to try. Don't like to see that tire smoke. But he still feels like, oh yeah, we know those tires are going bad. Big slide from Dubsy, loses a lot of time there. Those tires are wearing out on him, and I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make it to the finish. You're getting here at the right time. This race is going to have some serious championship implications, CJ. Mebby is already out of this race. El Majacco was having a perfect race before having contact with Zeusman, which has cost him some time. He is back in 4th, about 10 seconds back from the race leader, who is Forza Alonso right now. Dubsy has been trying to make this race a one-stopper, which is very, very hard to do, and his tires are now basically gone. The best he can hope for at this point is to not blow a tire and cause himself some problems. Drunk Dolphin has retired from the session now. Not sure what happened there. Mebby and Jacko trying to make points up on Dubsy, but continuing to encounter problems. So Majacco should jump Mebby in the point standings, but he needs his teammate Dubsy to have some tire issues. Wow. What was that? That must have been Drunk Dolphin there in the wall. You saw him ghosted out. Dubsy driving through the wreckage. Nick Dahi there trying to catch the Mercedes of Dubsy. We're sticking with him right now because he is the one leading the points and could have some serious problems if he has to make an extra stop. Majacco's still losing time to the leaders. He doesn't really have any pressure from behind. HSVDT is 10 seconds back from him. Aaron Webb trying to catch the Williams. Zeusman. Mitch Man. Ditch Witch there fighting in left. And Brian Mouser rounding out the top 10. I think there's only 12 cars left in this race. Here's Sassafras. They'll make that 13 because K-Dog is still running, but that is it. Everybody else has crashed out. We've had a wild one here tonight. So, let's watch Dubsy trying to stretch these tires to the end of the race. The leader is going to take 2 to go this time. Here's pit lane. Dubsy not going to take it. He's going to continue on. 4 seconds back from the race leader. He's got Nick Dahi breathing down his neck. But we're going to see if those tires are going to last to the end. We've seen Dubsy have punctures before. We have seen these issues. Who's leading? That would be the Haas car of Forza Alonso. He has won the last 2 races. He's going for the hat trick here. 3 races on the season in the win column. The hottest driver on the circuit. Doing quite well. His tires are good to go to the end. There's no real danger there. So he's trying for 3 in a row, and that's going to buoy his championship hopes for sure. Yeah, it's getting tight. He's closing in. He's in DRS range now. Dubsy's going to be under pressure. Going to be interesting to see what Dubsy does here. Is he going to try to fight the Red Bull, or is he going to allow the Red Bull to go by and conserve the tires for the final lap? We're going to have to see. You see that car sliding. It's basically a 4-wheel drift because those tires have very, very little traction left. Look at in the rear view mirror, the Red Bull all over him. Nick Dahi working on the 2nd place car. Dubsy's going to go. No pit stop here. We are now to 2 to go. I don't know. Or 1 to go. There we go. There it comes through. So, final lap. Forza Alonso in the lead of this race quite comfortably. This is the race on track. And the question mark is on the Mercedes of Dubsy. Can his tires hold out without a puncture? There's no pit stopping now. So he's going to finish the race on those tires. But will they all have air in them then when they cross the line? So here we go. Into DRS zone. Dahi has the slipstream. He's going to get DRS. Dubsy's going to protect the inside. Dahi's going to go in the inside anyway. Comfortable pass here for the Red Bull. Dubsy's going to try to go up around the outside and then look inside. It's not going to be able to make that work. It is. It really is. Dubsy is really hanging it out there, but look at this. He's got DRS now. He's going to go to the outside. Dahi protecting the inside. Dubsy, a lot of lockup. Oh, he's able. No! No! Oh, my goodness. We saw lockup from the Red Bull. He got on the curb and then pushed out into the Mercedes and spun. Oh, my God, that's unfortunate for Nick Dahi. You can see the damage to the wing. He got on the curb that pushed him out into the Mercedes, and Dahi now back to 4th. Majacko to 3rd. But meanwhile, out front, here we go, 1 corner to go. Race winner, 3 in a row. Give it to him. Hat trick. Forza Alonso winning in Abu Dhabi. Round 14 to the all-time wins leader, Forza Alonso. Here's Dubsy coming home in 2nd. He has a puncture. He's going to be awarded 3rd. Wow. We said it. We said it for many, many laps. Dubsy with a puncture, but able to bring that car home 3rd. Beaten by his teammate at the line. Majacko able to earn a few points on his teammate. We talked about it, 27 points back. So he was able to gain a little bit on the points leader. Alonso, of course, gaining as much as he could. But Dubsy, 3rd place. I mean, it could have been worse. Could have been worse. Watching the final points earner right there, Brian Mosser. Happy with that because he's driving a Honda. Yes! We made the finish! So this race, definitely making it interesting in the championship standings. Here in a moment, we'll get Forza Alonso in for an interview. Very, very scenic race course, and we had a lot of fun with it tonight. Abu Dhabi, round 14 of the season 8 PRL Championship going to Forza Alonso, his 3rd win in a row. This time over El Majaco in 2nd, Dubsy in 3rd, Nick Dahi 4th, HSVDT, Aaron Webb, Zeusman, Mitch Mann, Ditchwitch, and Brian Mosser rounding out your top 10. What a fantastic race, and definitely some very, very wild implications when it comes to the championship. El Majaco is going to move to 2nd place in the championship. Dubsy losing some points to his teammate, but able to mitigate that points loss with a 3rd place finish on a flat, what looked like a left front tire, I believe it was. So very, very interesting race tonight.